Ethan Blackwood didn't believe in coincidence. Every contract, every handshake, every smile, he assumed there was an angle behind it. Years at the top had trained him to read people the way others read balance sheets. Greed had a rhythm, ambition had a smell, and kindness, that was rare. The idea came to him on an ordinary evening, seated alone in the VIP lounge of a luxury hotel. Across the room, people laughed louder than necessary, dressed sharper than comfort allowed. They didn't know who he was yet, but they sensed money. And that was enough. His assistant's voice echoed in his mind. People change when they think you can give them something. Ethan wanted to see how much. The charity event was the perfect cover, soft lighting, polished floors, champagne flowing like water. He introduced himself simply as Ethan, a private investor passing through the city. No titles, no security, no reputation. That's how he met the four women. Vanessa noticed him immediately. Her laugh was practiced, her eyes always searching for the next opportunity. She spoke about brands, followers, visibility. Priya joined with confidence, her posture sharp, words sharper. She talked about success as if it were a weapon, something you either wielded or were crushed by. Lila stood back, fingers wrapped around a glass she barely drank from. She listened more than she spoke, her gaze drifting to the artwork on the walls instead of the people in the room. And then there was Maya. She almost didn't belong there. Her dress was simple, her movements careful, like someone used to not taking up space. She kept checking her phone, not for messages, but the time. As if she were afraid of staying too long in a world that wasn't hers. Ethan watched her closely. At the end of the evening, he placed his black card on the table. The room seemed to inhale. Tomorrow, he said evenly, I want each of you to take this card. There's no spending limit. Buy whatever you want. No rules. Vanessa's eyes sparkled. Priya smiled knowingly. Lila blinked in surprise. Maya frowned. This isn't a joke, she asked quietly. No, Ethan replied. It's a choice. She hesitated, fingers tightening in her lap. And you expect nothing in return. Ethan leaned back, studying her reaction. I expect honesty. The card lay between them. Sleek, powerful, dangerous. That night, as they each walked away with their own thoughts, Ethan felt something unfamiliar. Anticipation. Because tomorrow, money would speak. And he would finally hear the truth. Morning sunlight spilled over the city like a promise. For Ethan Blackwood, it was just another test day. For the four women, it was temptation given form. Vanessa didn't waste a second. She stepped into the most exclusive shopping district with her phone already recording. Guys, she whispered to her livestream, eyes shining, this is insane. Designer doors opened like royalty had arrived. Handbags, shoes, limited edition sunglasses, each swipe of the black card felt like applause. She chose things not for how they felt, but how they would look on camera. The price tags didn't scare her. They validated her. People respect success, she murmured, approving her reflection. And success should be seen. Priya approached the day like a negotiation. She booked a private stylist, a jeweler, and a luxury car service before noon. Image was leverage. Power required polish. At the jewelry counter, she studied a diamond bracelet, clean, bold, undeniable. This, she said decisively. When I walk into a room, I want silence. The card cleared without hesitation. Priya smiled. Control felt good. Lila wandered. She moved through quiet bookstores, art galleries, and secondhand music shops. She touched canvases, flipped pages, listened to street musicians. The card stayed in her pocket for hours. Eventually, she bought a painting that reminded her of childhood summers and a stack of books she'd wanted for years. With the remaining balance, she donated anonymously to a small community art center about to close its doors. She left feeling lighter, as if money had finally listened instead of shouted. Maya stood outside a grocery store for nearly 10 minutes. Her phone buzzed, a reminder about an overdue bill. She closed her eyes and exhaled slowly. The black card felt heavy in her palm, like something that didn't belong to her. Inside, she pushed a cart down narrow aisles. Rice, milk, fresh vegetables, medicine. She checked prices out of habit, even though she didn't have to. At a clothing store, she bought her son 2 school uniforms, one for now, one for when he grew. Shoes with proper support, socks without holes. She paused at a laptop display, heart pounding. The refurbished model wasn't flashy, but it would help her son learn, dream, and catch up. Before leaving, she visited a children's hospital. She made a donation quietly, anonymously. No name, she told the clerk. Just help someone who needs it. As evening fell, the women returned, receipts in hand. Ethan waited, and one receipt would change everything. The restaurant felt different that evening, quieter, heavier, as if the walls themselves were waiting. Ethan Blackwood sat at the center table, posture relaxed but eyes sharp. 4 empty chairs faced him. 4 stories were about to be told without words. Vanessa arrived first. She swept in confidently, perfume announcing her before her heels did. She placed glossy shopping bags beside her chair like trophies. Best day of my life, she laughed, sliding her receipt across the table. Opportunities like this, you don't ask questions. Ethan glanced at the total. His face didn't change. He nodded once and set the receipt aside. Priya followed, calm and composed. The diamond bracelet on her wrist caught the light as she sat. Perception is power, she said, handing him her receipt. I invested in mine. Again, a nod. Another receipt placed neatly on the stack. Lila arrived next, almost hesitant. She carried only a small framed painting. I didn't need much, she said softly. But I didn't want the money to disappear without meaning. Ethan studied her receipt longer than the others. A flicker of interest crossed his face, but still, no words. Then came Maya. She entered slowly, eyes downcast, hands empty. Vanessa raised an eyebrow. Did you forget to shop? Maya ignored the comment. She walked to the table and carefully unfolded her receipt, smoothing the creases as if it were fragile. I hope this is okay, she whispered, placing it in front of Ethan. He picked it up, and stopped breathing. Groceries, 3 months' worth. School uniforms, children's shoes, a refurbished laptop, rent, paid in full, medical expenses, and finally, children's hospital donation. Anonymous. Ethan's grip tightened. The numbers were modest compared to the others, but the weight of them crushed him. The room fell silent. I'm a single mother, Maya said, her voice trembling but steady. Every month feels like a cliff. Today, I wanted to build a bridge. She swallowed. My son has asthma. I've seen parents lose children because they couldn't afford help. I couldn't stop thinking, what if this card could save someone else? Ethan lowered the receipt slowly, as if it might shatter. You could have bought anything, he said quietly. Maya met his eyes. I did. I bought time, safety, a future. For the first time in years, Ethan didn't know what to say. The test had ended, and it had exposed something money never could. A heart that refused to think only of itself. The silence lingered long after Maya finished speaking. Even the soft clink of cutlery from distant tables seemed intrusive. Ethan Blackwood sat still, the receipt resting beneath his palm like something alive. He finally stood. There's something you all deserve to know, he said, voice calm but carrying weight. He adjusted his cufflinks, not out of habit, but to steady himself. Vanessa straightened. Priya's eyes narrowed. Lila leaned forward. My name isn't just Ethan, he continued. It's Ethan Blackwood. I'm the CEO of Blackwood International. The air cracked. Vanessa's mouth fell open. That's not possible. Priya's confidence faltered for the first time. You're worth. Yes, Ethan interrupted gently. More than enough to learn this lesson. He turned to Maya. All my life, I believed money revealed intelligence, ambition, strength, he said. But today, you showed me it reveals values. Maya shook her head, overwhelmed. I didn't do anything special. That's where you're wrong, Ethan replied. He reached into his jacket and placed a silver folder on the table. This is a trust fund, he said. Education for your son, full medical coverage, and a guaranteed position at the Blackwood Foundation, if you want it. Maya's breath caught. Tears welled. Why are you doing this? Ethan's voice softened. Because you used power the way it should be used. Quietly, responsibly, without applause. Vanessa looked down at her bags. Priya removed her bracelet slowly. No one spoke. Lila smiled faintly, understanding. Weeks later, headlines announced the Maya initiative, a program supporting single parents, children's healthcare, and education. Ethan refused interviews. He didn't need credit. Maya walked her son to school every morning, fear replaced by something unfamiliar, peace. The black card had tested 4 women. Only one had passed.